A band of brothers from Mishawaka, Indiana, has rocked stages for approximately 20 years. You may wonder what makes this band so special, and I have a simple answer: genetic harmonies. The brothers' genetically matched voices draw audiences from all over the country, and today we are able to hear their story.
First started getting into music mainly because we were around music all the time. My mom, she liked country music, country and western, you know, Porter Wagner, Buck Owens, all that good stuff. They always used to drag me in the room whenever Chet Atkins was playing, a real good guitar player. And then of course, we'd get together at family reunions, and Dad and his brothers and the uncles, they'd all go out in the backyard and start singing and things like that. No instruments, just singing, a cappella.
Once I watched the Beatles, I told Dad I wanted to play guitar. So he bought me a guitar. He said it was quieter than drums. I started with a friend of mine, and then Frank learned how to play bass. He switched from accordion to bass. Me and him got together, and then my little brother, I'd go downstairs to practice, and my amplifier would be all turned all the way up to 10, and I knew he was down there playing, and he turned out to be a better guitar player than me. So, but we could always sing.
Due to the musical influence on the Balbo brothers, it was inevitable that a unique band of brothers would one day rock the stage.
I had broke my leg when I was 17 or 16, and I had nothing else to do but to sit around and play guitar. And of course, I'd already been playing for about 6 or 7 years, but that's when I really started getting good. So I'd go out to these get-togethers and hear these bands playing, and all I could think of was that I could get together a better band than that. Fred and Frank hadn't played for a year or so, or longer. They'd kind of given it up a little bit, and I called them up. And I said, let's put together a band. I said, I got a bass player, I got a drummer, let's do it.
We played little itty-bitty places. We didn't, have a whole lot of jobs because it was mainly just getting together and jamming. But then we started playing out and opening up for other bands. We opened up for Three Dog Night, and we went down and got the wrong dressing room. We didn't know that there was pizza in there, so we got yelled at for eating all the Three Dog Night's pizza and drinking all their beer. They had to restock everything. We were playing all the time. It used to be you'd play 4 and 5 nights a week in the same bar. They said they'd have the same band every night.
Once the band's popularity increased, the band members decided it was time to produce their first CD.
It was right after, not right after, but it was after the LA riots. I decided to write, a song called Ashes and Tears, and it has mainly to do with everything, society falling apart, stuff like that. And then we had a bunch of other songs. There's a song in there about friends that have passed away, Breathe In, Breathe Out, and it just went from there. And we all started adding songs, and it worked out pretty good.
We started out going into the studio and, let's do this song, let's do that song. And we wanted a wide variety from the acoustic stuff, with the harmonies, to the the Motown sound, and some of the heavier rock and roll stuff, like Just Another Lonely Night, what have you. And there was me, Fred, Frank, John Nooner, the guy who owned the studio, and then our technicians that we brought, Mike and Al. But we were in the studio for about a good 30 hours or better of recording. And we were sitting in the sound booth, and we started listening to what we'd done. I didn't like it. And plus, John was talking with Mike and Al out there, and he came back in, and agreed. He said, I know where you're coming from. He says, we'll scrap the first 30 hours. And we started over, and then come out with a pretty darn good CD. The vocal thing was definitely a big thing. And it just kind of went hand in hand with the way that we played and sang. We weren't scholared musicians by any means, but we played very heartfelt and with the three-part harmonies of genetically matched voices, singing from the heart. It came across. It was just like the old saying, reach out and touch somebody. That's what whenever we got up on stage, whenever we get up on stage, and whenever I do to this day, that's what I look to do, is to actually reach out and touch somebody, with what I'm singing, what I'm saying, the way I'm doing it, and where it's coming from.
Oh, when they look at us and just, you can see it in their eyes that they really appreciate what you're doing. That hits you in the heart. That makes you feel real good. That lets you know that what you're doing means something to them too. I was talking to somebody last night, and they said they have one song. It's not on the album. It's going to be on the next one, called "Nobody's Savior." And they said the first time his wife heard the song, she cried. So, we had a friend. We did. The first time we played Lies of the Heart, there was a line in there that made a friend of ours, he's passed away now, but he come up and he just, oh my God, candy from a baby, oh, and you could see he was really crying. And it just, I said, well, thanks, Greg, that was cool. So, but, I just bring an emotion out in people. That's what I like, so.
The best compliment I ever got in my life was playing a club. There's 2,000 plus people in it, and when I was up on stage and I'd been singing and playing, and where there was a rest with the voice and the guitar, total silence, over the top of 2,000 people, I could hear a cash register ring at the very end of the building. So everybody was dead quiet, focused on me. So that's about the best compliment you can ever get. More than anybody saying anything was, I guess, people not saying anything.